All right, listen up. You've hung up the uniform, but here's the question. Does your pension have you covered for the long haul? That was me not long ago. I thought my pension would cover everything, but reality hit me hard. I realized I needed to change how I manage my money and fast. In this video, I'll show you 5 key strategies to take control of your financial future. We'll cover financial literacy, timing your retirement, avoiding debt, passive income, and investing. Secret number 5 might just change your game. Let's start with secret 1.
Financial literacy.
It's like being on a mission. You wouldn't go into the field without knowing the terrain, right? The same goes for your money. I had no idea how little I knew until I started reading. These 3 books changed everything for me. So I began with Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I remember the moment this book opened my eyes. It explains the difference between assets, things that you make money, and liabilities, things that drain your resources. I used to think of my car as an asset, but after reading this, I realized it was a liability, like carrying dead weight on a mission. Once you understand that difference, you start making smarter decisions. The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. This book is like a field manual for saving and growing your money. It teaches you to save at least 10% of your income and put it to work. I used to feel embarrassed that I wasn't saving enough, but this book made it simple. It's like stocking up on supplies before a long campaign. You'll need these reserves to get you through the tough times. You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. This book is all about mindset. I used to think I wasn't meant for financial success, like it wasn't in the cards for me. And it helped me shake off all the doubt. It's like going into a mission with confidence. You have to believe you're capable or you've already lost. Secret 2 is all about timing your retirement. I had a buddy who retired after 20 years, and while he's doing fine, he could have done even better. Let me explain. If your high 3 average is $80,000, retiring after 20 years gets you 50% or $40,000 annually. But if you wait until 25 years, that bumps up to $50,000 annually. That's an extra $200,000 over 20 years of retirement. It's like waiting for reinforcements. You'll be much better off. And don't forget about your thrift savings plan, TSP. If you've got $100,000 in your TSP with a 7% average growth rate, waiting those extra 5 years could add another $40,000. Time is your best ally when it comes to retirement savings. The longer you wait, the bigger the reward. So I have a question for you. Are you planning to retire at 20 or are you thinking of holding off until 25? Drop a comment below and let me know your plan. I'd love to hear what your timeline looks like. Secret number 3 is
Avoiding high interest debt.
Debt is like carrying extra gear in your ruck. The heavier it is, the slower you move. I learned this the hard way. I once had a credit card with a 20% interest rate. It seemed manageable at first, but that balance grew fast, like a snowball rolling downhill. And that's when I found out about 2 strategies for tackling debt. It was the debt snowball versus the debt avalanche. And I'm going to explain them to you right here. The debt snowball, this method focuses on paying off your smallest debts first. It's like taking out the smaller enemies on the battlefield first, giving you quick wins. The pros to it though, it's that it's motivating you. You see progress much faster, but the cons are you'll pay more in interest over time. And let's discuss debt avalanche. This method focuses on your highest interest debts first, even if it takes longer to see progress. It's like going after that biggest threat first, knowing it'll save you more resources in the long run. The pros are you save the most money and interest. The cons are it can take longer to see those quick wins. Whichever method you choose, the key is to be aggressive about eliminating that high interest debt. The faster you knock it out, the lighter your financial load becomes. Secret 4
is passive income.
Don't rely on just one source of income after retirement. When I first retired, I realized I was too dependent on my pension. That's when I had to make a change. I'd invested in a rental property after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad years ago, and it wasn't easy at first, but now that rental income is like a steady stream of supplies coming in from different routes. Whether it's real estate, dividends, or even starting a side hustle, having multiple income streams means you won't be left high and dry if one dries up. Now for secret number 5, The one that really made the biggest impact for me.
Strategic investment.
I know terms like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds can feel overwhelming, but let me break it down for you. Stocks are like owning a piece of company, kind of like having a stake in a mission's success. When the company does well, your stock increases in value. If things go south, your stock can lose value too. It's a risk, but with high rewards. Bonds are more stable than stocks. It's like lending supplies to an ally, and they promise to pay you back with interest. Bonds are reliable, but they don't offer the big returns that stocks can. And let's talk about mutual funds, because mutual funds are like having a team of specialists. Your money is spread across many companies and bonds reducing your risks. It's like having medics, engineers, and snipers all working together. If one falls short, the others picks up the slack. And a diversified portfolio is just a fancy way of saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's like planning a mission with multiple supply routes. You still got other supplies coming in. Spreading out your investment helps reduce risk. Compound interest is like reinforcements arriving regularly. The more they arrive, the stronger your team becomes. The money you invest earns interest. And then that interest earns interest too. It's like building up your forces without having to do anything extra. The earlier you start, though, the bigger your army of reinforcements. Now that you have these 5 strategies, you're in a much better position to take control of your future. But remember, there's one specific mistake that can mess up all your hard work. Trust me, you don't want to learn the hard way. And join me here, we'll discuss it.